Hi, welcome to Programming with Mesh. In this video, we want to use deep linking in Bay, React Native, and Expo projects and run it in Android and iOS simulators. In fact, by specifying the format of the links in the app, we accept the user to be transferred directly to the desired screen within the app after clicking on them on their device. Well, I created a sample project using Bay React Native with 3 screens. And I switched between them using Stack Navigator in React Navigation 6. I ran the project on Android and iOS emulators to see how it works. If we look at screen A, I create a button in the center of the screen that takes us to screen B, and with it I pass the message parameter, which actually indicates that we went to that screen through screen A. And as you can see, we have displayed the transmitted message in screen B. And using a button on this page, we move to screen C. Now we want to open these pages of the app using deep linking. For this purpose, I create a new screen and put a few buttons inside it to open the links we want. Now I will add a new screen to the Stack Navigator to move to it using the button on the screen C. Well, I specify the title of the button here. And go to the new screen using the button. Now here we create a few buttons to open the links. To specify the format of the links, we do this in the navigation container using the linking prop. First, we define the prefix we want, which can be the name of the app and then a separator title. Then we add the config to it, which actually defines the specifications and pass off the screens in the link. Here we are currently assigning a title to each screen. Of course, this title is optional and can be a continuous phrase, because it will be part of the body of the link. Now on the unpress button, we want to open the desired screen link. To do this, we use the linking component in React Native. And according to the format we created for the links, the link for screen A will be like this. Now I will create the link of the other screens and put the corresponding buttons in this screen. In addition to the page buttons, I create a button to open an external link to see the difference between opening links. As a link address, for example, I put the address of the official React Native site. Well, as you can see, the buttons is created correctly and we can see them on both devices. Now if we go to the deep linking document in React Navigation, we can see the native settings related to Android and iOS. In Android, we can easily do this using this command. You just have to replace the name MyChat with the name of your app, which is My App for us. And if you want to do this manually, you have to modify the Android manifest file like this. First, make sure the launch mode value is single task in the main activity. Of course, this value is on single task by default. Then we add this intent filter to the activity. And change the value of the scheme. Well, now we make these changes in iOS as well. First, in the appdelegate.m file, we add this section for iOS targets higher than 9. And for iOS less than 9, we add this part. First, we add this header at the top of the file. Which I have already added. Then we add this part at the top of @end. We will also add this section if we want to use universal links. Then we can easily apply the next settings using this command. Or manually open the project file in Xcode and specify the URL type in this tab. Well, after selecting the project, we go to the Info tab, and in the URL type section, we add our desired scheme, which is My App here. Now close the Metro and run the app again on both devices. Well, now we can test the links on the page we created. Well, as you can see by clicking on this link button, it will take us inside the app to screen A. We do the same on Android device. As you can see, we are sending a message from screen A to screen B. But when we enter this screen through the link, this parameter does not exist. We can send the desired parameter inside the link to the screen. To do this, we change the way the path is defined for screen B as follows. And we actually add a parameter called message to the end of the link. And at the end of the link that we call, we enter the desired value for the message. Now, after entering the screen B using the link, we will see a different message. And as you can see, the message is displayed correctly. And you can see this in your Android device as well. Now if we open the last link, this time the link will open in the browser, because its format is not defined for the app. And you see this on the iOS device. Now I exit the apps to test the opening of the links in another way. On real devices, if we enter those links in the browser, the app will open. And here, to test like real devices, we can test using these commands. After copying, we replace the link in the command with our own link. And as you can see, the app opened properly on the desired screen. And we test this in Android device by changing this option. Well, it worked well here too. Now we exit the apps to implement deep linking in an Expo project. I created a project exactly like the previous project using Expo, but for using deep linking, there are some differences that I will mention here. Here, instead of using the linking component of React Native, we install the Expo linking module and use it. Also, in the prefixes section, we use linking.createURL instead of a string. And in the app.json file in the Expo object, we add the scheme. We also use the Expo linking module when calling links. Well, now we run the app on Android and iOS and test the function of the links. Of course, here, because the previous apps are installed on my devices and the links are the same, the links open within the previous app. We can use these commands to test links in the Expo app. I open a new terminal and paste the command. Here we need to enter the address of the running app. And as you can see in the Metro, the iOS app address is the same, but the Android app address is different. So to run the app on iOS, I just change the link. And as you can see, the Expo app opened on the desired page. And for the Android app, I changed the address. As you can see, we entered the screen A correctly here as well. Now we want to test universal links. To do this, we change one of the links to a sample address. And here, instead of the prefix, we enter it. Now, if the user opens this link on his device, he must enter the app. We test this on an Android device using the same command as before. Of course, here we have to change the scheme inside the app.json file. And as you can see, the app opened properly. So there we go, we got acquainted with deep linking and learned how to use it in Bay React Native and Expo projects. Now if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next video.